Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hello, we're live.
Hello.
I'm well rested. I actually took a little nap before this.
Wow. I am not well rested.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm over the last couple weeks super well rested, but
Yeah.
um I was like, I feel like I need a little nap, so I did take
Who
that.
doesn't love a nap? A nappy nap.
Yeah,
Love a
I'll
nap.
close the work day with a nap.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna take a nap today. I've been when you get sick and you just feel weak?
Yes.
I've felt like that the last 2 days, but like it might be situational. I told my supervisor that I might be allergic to work. And
Did you get a chuckle or
she goes, me too. But yeah, like I felt really weak yesterday and I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I don't feel great. You might not want to put me with other people tomorrow just in case." And today I felt better, but still not great. So,
so when you say weak, is that different than low energy?
yeah, like weak is like if you put your arms up, they just like drop.
Oh, or like
Like
you're trying to pick a box up and you're like it feels it's so heavy.
it's so heavy. And it's yeah, like your just whole body just like you have to sit down.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. Yeah, nobody's ever asked me the difference between weak and low energy.
And it's
But
not tired.
no, it's not tired. I wasn't
So it's
tired.
a
I was just
third
like,
category.
yeah. It felt like when you're weak, when you have the flu, but
Hmm.
I don't have any other symptoms. I don't know if it's allergies or if it's I did get sick or what, but thankfully I've been working alone. So if I am
Hmm.
sick, hopefully don't get anybody else sick.
Did
But
your did you figure out what this rash situation was? Is that gone?
oh yeah, it's gone. I must have been a heat rash.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think we were speculating on here, but I don't remember
I
getting an
think it might
update
have
about
been
it.
offline.
Okay.
And you were like, you have shingles. And I was like, I don't think I have
I was like,
shingles.
it might be shingles. I don't know though.
Yeah. Um, and I texted Donovan, Will Donovan, and he goes, first of all, if you do, I am so sorry.
Right.
If he's like, if you have the misfortune of having it, I'm so sorry. But no, it went away. I don't know what it was.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
You said you had a
Yeah.
story for me today.
I do have a story. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just say that I'll start with this. The last day of last week, my manager said, Becca, you've caused enough chaos this week.
Okay.
And then I
You've
said,
caused enough
Mike,
chaos this week. You better leave early before
I was like,
all of our
Mike,
weekends are.
my lot in life is to cause chaos. That's like my goal. That's my goal in life. Just
Mm-hmm.
the chaos causer. Anyway, so last week on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, I was working in the paper department, which is not my normal department. They just brought me over for a quick thing. And and I was just working and the like manager of that department, like the micromanager of that department, mini manager, I don't know what you call him, the supervisor,
The department manager or
the
the
department manager. Um, he was on the forklift and he goes, "Anybody want a kitten? There's a kitten outside." And I was like, I don't want a kitten, but I do have a friend that might, and he goes, "Well, there's a cat outside and it's really scared and it's like between two buildings out back." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll go look at him, the kitten." And so I like went out there, like none of this happened during work. I like waited for lunch break and went out there during lunch break and
Mm-hmm.
found the kitten. And she was a Siamese, white with brown ears and a brown tail. Cute as a
Mm-hmm.
fucking button. But like her eyes are all crusty over. And she was between these two buildings. I couldn't get in between, but somebody skinnier could. So I went and got my friend and she got her, picked her up with gloves because we're not stupid. And and then I wrapped her up in my apron. And then I put her in a box and I went and asked my manager, main manager, and I said, "Hi, I found the kitten. Are you okay with me having it in the warehouse in a box?" And he was like, "I really don't want a cat in here." And then he goes, "I don't want it to get loose." And I was like, "I'll tape the box." He's like, "Don't let the cat out." And I was like, "I won't."
It's like 90
It's,
degree day because I mean you didn't want to like leave in your
no, it's
car and
been,
you don't want to like put it
yeah,
in the
it's actually been beautiful. It was like 70 degrees outside, 80 degrees. And, um, and
yeah.
so I put the kitten near a warm spot in the paper department, closed it up, like did the whole four corner fold, where you like flap, 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 and then tuck the flap under, like
Yeah,
tight.
that's not enough for
Oh no, it was like it's a 6-week-old kitten. It was
Oh,
it
okay.
was not going anywhere. And so he was good. I cut some air holes so that he didn't suffocate because Mike made sure to say, "Don't suffocate the cat." And
I don't want a cat loose and I don't want a dead cat on my hands.
yeah. Honestly, a dead cat would have been better. Um and then
Oh my gosh.
and then I was like, "Jose, I have the cat," one of my coworkers, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cute." And we opened the box just a little bit to look and then closed it back up. And I went to work. All was well. And then somebody else opened up the box to look at the cat, and they must not have cats. So the cat got out. And and then somebody jumped to get the cat, and whilst jumping to get the cat, frightened said cat, and then got bit in the hand by said cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because that's what happens. And if you don't know, if you get bit in the hand with a cat by a cat, you have to go to urgent care immediately. It is like
Yeah,
cat's
for rabies
teeth.
or
No, cat's teeth have so much bacteria that it will just like your hand will just puff up. So
mm,
anyway, sent the person off to the urgent care. Took the cat, put it in the box, took the box outside because Mike was like, "You gotta put the cat outside." And I was like, "No problem." And put the cat outside. And then um and then they called animal control
and you say, why was this cat your responsibility the whole time? Like, hey, does anybody want to deal with this cat?
because I was the one that wanted to deal with the cat. And and then called animal control, and animal control comes to get the cat to see if the cat has rabies because it's a feral kitten.
Hmm.
And when they get to the box, cat's not in the box.
Oh
Cat
my
is gone.
God.
And I was like, "What the fuck? Somebody open up that box and let the cat out." No. What I ended work thinking somebody opened up the box. That cat clawed her way through one of the air holes. She like clawed the cardboard so much that she opened it up
Yeah,
big enough so she could get through.
I'm not
And
surprised.
yeah, and she couldn't see. Her eyes were like red. Like
Hmm.
red. She looked like an alien. And so I was like, "Well, I can't do anything. I've got to fucking finish work." So I finish work and I go out there and start looking for her because if we can't find her, then the employee has to get rabies shots. And they were like, "We're not going to find her." And I was like, "I'm going to find her.
Oh, because
She's a
animal
6 week
control
old
can
kitten."
test her for rabies on the spot.
Well, they'll hold her for 10 days. And if she doesn't show any signs of rabies, then you're good. Because she would die of rabies, I think.
Talking about the cat.
Yeah, like the cat would die of rabies within 10 days. If she had rabies, if she was carrying it.
Mm. Oh, okay.
But she didn't have any like bite marks or anything like that. There's like a 1% chance the cat has rabies, like a 0.1% chance. And so since they thought that they weren't going to find the cat, said employee went and got a rabies shot. And then I went after work at like 6 p.m. when all the trucks were gone. Cat's just fucking sleeping right there, just asleep.
Wow.
So I took the cat to animal control. They're holding it for 10 days. We've named it Speedy. And the employee that got bit is gonna adopt her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Speedy,
Speedy. Oh, there we go.
which is applicable in two ways, I feel. So,
Mm-hmm.
because when she escaped from the box, somebody was like, I did not know that cat could be that fast. So anyway,
Jeez.
I have to get permission to say this. I don't know if I was allowed to say all that on the internet, but might have to edit all that out.
I hope not.
Um, I hope not too. Anyway, it's a good story for the cat. Um, all was all is fine. Hopefully, if she doesn't have rabies, then the employee doesn't have to take any more of the rabies vaccine. So it's like a process, like over months or whatever. So
Mm.
yeah. So
Yeah, I was looking up
yeah,
how often the cats got rabies. It doesn't look very common.
it's not.
Most recent year that there was data, CDC reported there was 3,500 cases in 2022.
Yeah,
It's very low. I mean, I guess if
it's very
it's,
low.
I guess, I guess if they're feral, it's harder to know though that
Yeah.
number. But
I think that somebody took her and just dumped her because like she was really sick. She had upper respiratory infection. And oh, and I forgot to tell you what's even worse is that also the employee that got bit helped me find her at like 6 p.m. because he cares about cats. But uh uh I took Tammy with me because I was like, well, I bet another kitten can find another kitten, you know?
mm, yeah.
Tammy went the opposite direction and went pouncing through the woods. And then uh but then I took her to the animal control, and the lady was like, URI is super duper infection. Like, it's super, super contagious. And so you have to watch your cat. And I was like, fuck. But it's fine. It's fine.
Jeez.
Everything's fine. But he seems to be doing fine. I haven't seen any signs of any upper respiratory situations. Just monsterness, kitten monsterness.
Do you figure out how old he actually is?
I think he's got to be at least 13 weeks now. I think he was 7 weeks when I got him. So
Okay.
we've nicknamed him Tim Tam.
Tim Tam.
Tim Tam. Yeah.
What are those? What are those cookie things? Are those Tim Tam? Are those Tim Tams?
Yeah, those are Tim Tams. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Tam
Tim
Tams
Tam
or something.
Slam.
Tim Tams.
Tim Tam Slam. Yeah. Anyway, what about you? What's happening with you?
I just had a show this weekend, over Labor Day weekend in Bloomington.
How'd it go?
It's my best show I've ever done.
Shut the fuck up.
I had two of my best shows I've ever done the last two shows I've done.
Well,
Did
what
you
was the
see how
one
much I
before
sold
that?
at Woodland?
No, I just saw the specs, but I didn't see the number.
Woodland was 3 weeks ago, and I sold $7,625 there. And
Oh
then
my God.
and then this last weekend at Fourth Street, I sold $7,851.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And then the year before it at Fourth Street, I think I sold like 5,200.
Yeah.
So I actually did better on Sunday than I did on Saturday this year. I think it was 3,700 on Saturday, but I sold more on Sunday. The weather was like perfect. It's like the best weather I've ever had for a show
It was
in
great weather
my
this
like
weekend.
10 years of doing shows, and I think that
Yeah.
definitely contributed. People were just I don't know, like I told Isaac and Isaac was asking, what do you think it is that like get had you get the best show? Had you able to have the best show? Because I haven't done that show, but this is the second year I've ever done that show. So it's not like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
Woodland is an anomaly because I've done that like 6 years. So it's,
right.
I've kind of got my bearings with that show and the
Yeah, and I know
customers and
somebody
stuff.
that was there and they did not do as good as you, right? So,
Right. I didn't ask how Deanna did, but um yeah, I think they just really like I don't know. I was
they
trying to
like
tell Isaac,
pottery in
I was like,
Bloomington.
the pottery, the function, the price point, it
Yeah,
feels like there was a
because
lot of like art there, but I feel like
Bloomington's a college town, and if the college students can buy the pots, they will. Like it's
I don't think there was
uh,
that many college students that bought my stuff, but
oh, okay.
maybe like 10%.
Okay. But it is like it's a hopping town for sure.
Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised last year. I was expecting for the weekend last time I was gonna make like 3,000 maybe,
Yeah.
3,500, and it was like 5,200. So I was like, "Oh shit."
Dude, if I had $5,200 right now, I'd shit my pants. Like I that'd be great. Anyway,
And then
um,
Penrod is this weekend in Indy, so I'm going to that as
I'm
well.
curious to see how that one goes.
Last year I did 4,500 for
Okay.
one day. I suspect I'm gonna beat that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm gonna guess we'll check in next week when we catch up, but I'm gonna guess 5,200.
I feel like
I've been scrambling to figure out the inventory because I've been booking it the last few weeks to get enough work to restock, but
yeah.
I feel
I
like it's a
feel
good
like
problem to have, but it's
you
it's been a challenge. Go ahead.
I feel like we need to make a shirt that says the economy doesn't suck, you do.
You should do that.
Oh, I feel like the only one that could wear that is you.
I'm not gonna wear that.
But like when you said that, that's all I thought about. Like how everybody's like the economy fucking sucks. And you're over here like making the best sales you've ever made.
I mean, I'm sure there's definitely some factors that probably
It's okay. You
make
don't have
make it more. Yeah, like I'm sure that some of the other people you talk to probably have higher price point items and
right.
they
You
probably
don't
didn't do
have
as
to
good.
quantify. You don't have to quantify anything. I'm proud of you and happy for you. And I just think it's fucking hilarious. And like anybody that's listened to this show in the past 6 years knows, like, was expecting that answer, you know? Like, we know that you're a fucking killer show person. That's just who you are. You're made for shows. Um,
Did you
that's
see the
amazing.
did you see the booth setup that I have the table and the shelf? I think that's kind of where I'm the sweet spot right now.
I didn't see that one. Well, I think I have seen it, but I
Because I
didn't
will
see it.
early in the year I was doing the
Two
two tall
shelves.
shelves and I was
Yeah,
like taught like at Berea I was talking through the shelving unit, but now I've got the table on the back and the shelf on the side. And I did
that's
that for the
nice.
last two shows. Table, I can still talk to people. I can do my
Yeah,
thing
that's
with
nice.
selling the work and then people can shop from the shelving units.
Yeah.
I essentially had corners at both of these shows too because the person next to me at this
Mm,
past one moved over a little bit so people could kind of
okay.
look from both sides of the tall shelving
Nice.
unit, which was really good. So,
Nice.
um, it's
I
not
have
an
a
outer L that I've talked about before. If I had the tables and I did an outer L is my favorite, but if I'm
inner
doing an
L.
inner L, tall shelving unit, on the side that I'm not standing at. Table behind, table at the back of the booth, and then I'm behind the table. So if it's tough weather, it'd be a little iffy, but we'll see how the show goes this weekend, though.
I have a theology question for you, and then you can answer it at the end of the show because I feel like you're going to need time to think about it.
Theology, like a religious question?
No, that's not the right word. Philosophy question. Sorry. I what am I I'm you know what? Stop.
Philosophical question. Psychology?
Philo
Not even a psychology question, a
a
philosophy question.
philosophy question.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because I started listening to this podcast, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out where I'm listening to the podcast on. Oh, it's called Revolt. Um, and I started listening, or I want to listen to this book, that's called The Myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus.
Sisyphus?
Yeah, that
Is it
one.
a person? It's like a mythological person. Sisyphus
Yeah,
or whatever.
Sisyphus. And essentially, it's this guy who talks about this ideology that is called uh, the I don't remember what it's called, but it's essentially like how to
The myth of Sisyphus.
The myth of Sisyphus is the gods essentially punish him for something, and every single day he has to push a rock up a hill, and by the end of the day
Oh, right.
he
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to
yeah.
start over and push the rock back up the hill again. He has
Uh-huh.
to like walk back down and push the rock up.
Right,
Um,
yeah. I've seen that
yeah,
graphic for sure. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, and there's a guy who wrote a book about it, and he wrote a book about this ideology that he has that is essentially like how do we, in a world that means nothing, how do we make our life mean something, essentially? Like, what is the meaning of life if life is meaningless? So,
Mm-hmm.
I think I got that right. But so what I was going to ask you, and that you don't have to answer it right now, but what I wanted to ask you is what is your like, what keeps you going in life? And like, I think that the easy answers typically are like my spouse or my kids or, something like that. But I thought I'd get your like,
I
and
mean,
I mean, if
I have a
Rachel is your,
I have a quick answer in mind.
sure,
My quick answer is um okay, what keeps you
not
going?
quick.
What keeps you
Okay.
going?
Or
Understanding
like,
where my limits are, challenging myself to do, understanding what I can accomplish and can I do more than that? And
having goals.
if I can accomplish it, then there's like a satisfaction of like, oh, I didn't think I could do that. And now that I've proven that I can do that, I can keep challenging myself to do the next thing.
Right. So
It's
it's
like the
like
pursuit of challenge or something like
yeah,
that.
the pursuit itself, not the end result, but the pursuit.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not satisfied with the best show I've ever done, but I'm like, oh shit, I've
Yeah.
proven that I can do that. Okay, what is the next step? The next step is,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm going to need to raise my prices because I can't make as much work. I'm going to
And you
need
think that
to keep,
in like over your whole life, you think that that's kind of what is like driving you? Like not just in
mm,
pottery, just like your whole life. Like when you wake up in the morning, you're waking up because like what's pushing you to get you through life, I guess. What's the meaning of life to you?
yeah, that's a deep question.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't have to answer it, but
I
I
mean,
was just curious.
a broad answer would be spending the time doing the things I want to be doing and
Yeah.
having the option to make those decisions.
Yeah.
Like having
I like
options on
that.
the table so that I can pick and choose what I want to be doing.
Yeah. That's a good answer. Yeah, because like everybody I asked today was like, oh, well, God's the reason I like wake up in the morning, or which is totally fair if you are a religious person, and like kids or my wife or my husband, like,
Hmm.
and although I think that that answer is fine, it's an easy answer, and I I don't feel like it's. Well, I've just been thinking that like as somebody that doesn't have a spouse, any kids, a close family, like, it's like what am I living for in my life? What keeps me going? And anyway, this book, The Myth of Sisyphus, um, he talks about how like suicide is not an option because in the in hold on, I gotta find out what that fucking thing is. The concept is of the absurd. That's the concept of the absurd. And in the absurd, you're always looking for answers, and so suicide is giving up on looking. So it's actually not an option
Hmm.
to a meaning, like to finding the meaning of a meaningless life, because like killing yourself is literally giving up finding the answers, which I thought was really interesting. And Um, so yeah, anyway,
So how would
not
you answer that question?
that's why I'm doing all this research.
How would you
Um,
answer it now?
I don't have anything.
You don't have an answer.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Like, no, that's my answer.
You're trying to find it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my
you're saying
answer.
your answer is you.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like my answer is the answer that is what nobody wants, essentially. And so um and so that's why I'm trying to find it, because I'll tell you what, being an extremely intelligent person with depression is really tough. Because
Because
then you're always,
it seems like because like when when I hear you talk about depression, I think like logically, okay, where do you go from that? Now that that's the state that you're in, logically, what steps do you do to get out of it? Or how do you, is it a coping thing? Is it a, what do I look for that's going to get me to a different state?
that's what I'm doing.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
reading the book about Sisyphus.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. Sisyphus? Sisyphus.
And that
It's
book is by
the myth of
Camus.
Sisyphus.
Albert Camus back in 1942.
Yeah,
Well, it
he's
said in
French.
French in 1942. I'm guessing you're reading
Yeah.
the English version that came out in 1955.
Well, I'm waiting because I put it on hold because
Mm.
um your mom's library card got messed up, so she had to go fix it. And then I missed my window of being able to borrow it immediately.
Mm.
But it's fine. Um, but I listened to a podcast about it, and then I'm starting to listen to more podcasts about nihilism, which seems, to put it slightly, absurd. Um, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I've had some interesting conversations with Mitesh a little bit lately um, about some of like, not necessarily meaning of life, I guess, but like understanding some things about ourselves and like how thoughts come to you and how like
Yeah.
yeah, some of that stuff. So
And also, I
it's
think it
pretty
should be
interesting.
stated, like, we're not going to do a podcast about depression right now, but it should be noted that I have clinical depression, not situational depression. I don't know if Ryan knows what the difference is, but that means that my depression is hereditary, passed down from Marianne Otis. And um
Which is your mother, I'm guessing? Is that
yeah,
Marianne?
and she also has clinical depression. So um it's more like a disease than a situation. So uh,
So it's not necessarily something to get out of. It's a fine. It's going to be there
for a
consistently.
long time. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe something happened. Maybe I take mushrooms or something and it goes away. I don't fucking know. But, you know, it should be noted that that's the type of shit I have. Anyway, and it's hard to be an academical type person when your brain doesn't work right because you're like, but why? Let's look into
Hmm.
the like fucking philosophy. Um, anyway, what's next? We have we got the best message this week.
Did you get permission to read that, or can we read it and not put a name with it?
She gave me permission to send it to LNL, so I assume that it's fine.
Okay.
I'll message her and ask.
Yeah, you should read it. I think it was a
Okay.
very good message.
This will just be the ad for today.
This is the end. I can while you're pulling that up, I've been cranking through work, so I've been putting the L&Ls to work this week and last week, and having very consistent, reliable kilns, very important. Not that you can't get a reliable kiln from somebody else, but having the consistency of the programs and the firing times and all of that has been very necessary for
Oh
actually being able
my
to turn
God.
around work this quickly and this effectively the
That
last
is awesome.
few weeks.
Really quick funny story. I went to look at this picture, and at the time I took that picture, I had 20% battery on my phone. And when I pulled up the picture, I was like, holy shit, I have 20% battery. So I plugged my phone and it said 46, and I was like, wait, what? Anyway,
Gotcha.
yeah, psych. Okay, so here is the message. It says, "Hi, Becca, longtime podcast listener. I would just like you to know that I just changed my first set of elements in a scut. I want to apologize for all the times I listened to Wheel Talk and heard you talk about how awful this job is and assumed there was maybe a bit of embellishment for entertainment purposes. Ma'am, you are not dramatic enough when describing the shit show that is element changing in Scotland. There could be a whole freaking musical theater performance about this hunk of metal and destined to crumble brick. The drama level needs to be Real Housewives level and the crimps. Just when I thought the frustrations with the elements and pins was over, I met the crimps. I third, fifth, sixth this, the crimps. Fuck those things. Never freaking again. As soon as the Pottery Supply stores opens tomorrow, I will be placing my order for an L&L because I value feeling my fingers. And I value feeling the feeling in my fingers and my back. Thank you, and Ryan, for stressing the awesomeness of L&L.
Whoa. So that wasn't even like pro L&L. That was just like, hey, this is what I experienced.
And like this person did not change the elements in a big kiln. It was a smaller kiln. So like
Definitely scaled up
imagine
the bigger kiln you got.
imagine a bigger kiln.
I mean,
But
that's pretty
yeah,
standard for most kilns. I don't think that's
it's
Scott
not yeah, it's
specific.
definitely not just Scott.
I mean, each of them
Yeah.
have their own connection things with the crimping or the non-crimping or the bending and
Actually,
stuff. But I
to
feel
be
like
fair, Scott's Scott's system for plugging in all the elements is really nice. Like,
hmm
like that part's really nice. But the fucking crimping
hmm
hurts my hands every time.
Yeah, I remember the pins and other kilns, and I had the Olympic back in the day. But yeah, I mean that's pretty standard for everything. I mean, not having the
Yep.
little ceramic channels in there,
Yeah,
besides just not
and
having to pin things, it protects the brick longer term.
mhm. L&L has a patented design on those, so they're the only kilns in the business that have them. So, and I will attest to another kiln that was absolute death in taking out the elements. Putting in the elements was fine, but taking out the elements of my cone art, I wanted to burn the whole studio down. It was awful because they were so like brittle that every time I pulled them and it was so tight, every time I pulled them, they would just break. I was
It
like
snapped like
pulling,
every 5 inches of the element
yes,
or
I
something.
was pulling like 6 inches at a time and it was awful. So,
Ugh.
and it like putting them in was fine, you know?
Yeah, because yeah, they're fresh and then they kind of sink down into their spot
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. So
whew,
anyway, we don't normally bash on other kilns, but I guess today's the
that
day.
was a testimonial that
That was
we
a
read.
yeah, that was
That
a
wasn't
true story.
that wasn't necessarily us. I mean, we did read it, but
But I think that everybody can attest to the fact that changing elements in any capacity is kind of sucky. It's just find the least sucky.
yeah.
And we found it. We don't
Yeah,
you don't
and
even have to do the research. We did it for you.
and hopefully y'all have heard some of Taylor's reading of their experience with their kilns. Like
Yeah.
even an old LNL, super minimal tools needed.
Yeah. The one thing I
Charlotte.
will say is you do have to Charlotte. The one thing I will say is you do have to stretch out the elements a bit. You know, that does
hmm
help. I like to stretch them a little by a little. I know that's not the best way to do it, but that's how I do it.
hmm
But I have a friend that
And make
tapes
sure they're
it.
secure because if you I've done it, put it over my foot and I stretch it and it flung up and hit me in the face or
Oh
something.
my God. I have a friend that has two tape lines on the floor and they just stretch it to the tape line. They like know
Mm,
exactly how far. I
that's
wonder
good.
if
That's a good
I'm
idea.
sure they have it on the website how far you're supposed to stretch it, right?
Maybe. I
I'll
mean, it's
look.
gonna diff. I mean, it should be pretty standard if you have the same kiln body, but I mean, obviously, it's gonna vary depending on the specific kiln you have. Because if you have a wide short kiln, it's gonna be a little more. But um, yeah, like I could use that a tape line or something for mine because I have both the same size 7 cubic foot kilns. So yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Doing the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. My website here at the library or the internet here at the library is a little bit slow, but it's fine.
From what I remember, they tell you to stretch it a little bit. I don't remember if it's specific.
Checking new elements. Ba, 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 ba. Most replacement elements come pre-stretched. All elements are slightly understretched and can settle during shipping, requiring adjustment for the final fit. If that's the case, stretch out the element until it is the correct length. It is better to gently stretch out the whole element instead of aggressively stretching a small section, which could lead to deformation or bunching. To determine the total length to stretch the element, measure the total length of the grooves. So it's just math.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just run a probably like a tape measure, like you'd measure your waist kind of thing, like a
yeah,
clothing tape measure. Just run it along the
yeah.
edge,
And
and
then you just stretch it. Yeah.
yeah,
So
there you go.
there
All
we go.
right,
And
Becca, where were you looking that up at?
I was looking that up at hotkilns.com and even hotkilns.com, even in the library with terrible internet, I found it in 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. That was so easy.
Sweet.
Easy peasy. Sweet.
All right, we've got Maker of the Moment next.
Oh
Do
my
you
God,
have
we haven't
yours
done Maker in the
handy?
Moment in a while. I
Yeah,
do.
it's been a bit.
It has been a bit. Let me get over there. My maker of the moment, I was just talking to this person, is Big Barn Pottery.
Mm.
Andrea McCaffrey. I love their
Ooh, very
I
drippy.
love yes, I love her like thing on her up where it tells you who she is. It says Andrea McCaffrey, hand thrown and hand built pottery. Don't be boring. Confirm. Um, oh, she's in southern New Hampshire. So, uh, I found out about this person because of Dell, actually, because Andrea's been mixing gloop glazes with regular glazes so that the regular glazes like fall over the gloop glazes and then create that like dramatic drippy effect. And it's been
Oh.
pretty wild to see how cool they are. And so, and like it's good form, like they're just kind of beautiful, you know. Like the glazing is top notch, you know what I'm saying? And the handles
Hmm.
look great too. So, and she was telling me that she's kind of a baby potter, but not that baby. Um,
I'm guessing
but
she's
yeah,
painting those glazes to get them that thick in areas to drip
I think
in those
so.
ways.
Look at her handles.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
They're pretty nice. Um, I think so. And like she's totally like figured out the combo with the gloop glazes and the drips, you know? Like
Hmm.
her last like four sets of mugs or whatever, three sets of mugs just like hit it, you know?
Hmm. Even just scrolling back, there's a lot of good combos in there.
And
There,
like trial and error and yeah.
yeah, I mean, I glaze similarly with the top third and then get a little run. I love that kind of a
Yeah.
overlap instead of like covering the whole thing in two glazes, or
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a good delineator. So yeah, there's some raw clay there. There's some fully dipped ones, but a lot of mugs in there.
Mhm.
Good combos, good form. Handles have
I
definitely
just
improved over time.
yeah, right? And like I just love the idea of like taking something that everybody's doing exactly the same thing to it. Like the gloop glazes, everybody's doing the same thing. And she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna be different, you know?" And
Hmm.
it totally worked out, you know? So, yeah.
All right, so that's
Um
Andrea at Big Barn Pottery.
and she's got mugs on Etsy and they are very affordable. So go buy them.
45 bucks.
Look at that blue one. That the one that's $38.
Hmm.
That one is so pretty. It
It's kind of
looks
crystalline looking.
yeah, it looks like crystalline.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
from painting. I think that painting the glazes. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
I
can
just
kind of get
really
that
like them.
variation throughout a little bit better.
Yeah. Good eye, good eye.
All right, that's
Yeah, like
Andrea.
even the ones that aren't the drippy ones are freaking cool. Okay, Andrea, I'm going to share this picture.
Okay,
Oops.
my person today is Sarah German Ceramics,
Why can't I share their picture? And
and Sarah is in Austin, Texas. Her bio says she's a ceramic artist and educator in Austin. She actually has 11,000 followers, so she's kind of like at the boundary of where we typically share, but I figured I better share her before it gets too much more. But she has a combo of wheel thrown and hand built sculpted additions to the cups. Did you go to her thing yet to look at her
sorry, I was
work?
trying to figure something out. I can't share Big Barn Pottery on the Instagram. I might have to take a picture and then ask her if I can. I took a picture and I'm gonna ask if I can share it on this story. Okay, sorry. Who was it again? It
Sarah
was
German.
Sarah German. Okay,
Sarah German Ceramics.
I'm going.
So she's using a combination of
Oh
colored
my
porcelain,
fucking
kind of like
God.
coils with wheel thrown mugs. So
That
it's kind of
is
like
so cool.
a colored porcelain lattice on the outside of cups, and then there's also some forms that are like a fruit bowl that's all coil s- colored coils over like a hump mold. So it's pretty cool. It's like very nice color combination. She's got some that are like gradients, kind of monotone. Yeah, pretty
That is
sweet.
so cool.
I don't think I feel like I've seen her work in person before, but I don't know
Oh,
where.
I definitely should have done the picture just down of the one that I did. Oh well, I got pretty excited. Oh, I like how she does that. She's got
And
like a little form situation
yeah, and she's
with the
got some
lines on
videos of
it.
how she's working at it. It looks like she's got some, I don't know if that's like a
Plaster
plastic
mold.
cup or something, or there's some form that she has and there's a bunch of lines on it so she can kind of see the outline, the layout of how she wants to put the coils on there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. She's got some good demo videos on there. Yeah, so you'll have quite a task finding a photo that you'll want to put up because there's so many good ones.
I already put one up, and
Oh,
it's probably the one that she likes the least.
which one did you put up?
I put up the one of the mug butts.
The mug butts.
I put the one, it's like her fifth post, and there's like a bunch of different cups on it that you could swipe through. And I like saw the rainbow one, and I was like, I'm gonna do that one.
Oh, I see. I see. That's not that bad. It's cool because it's like a
Yeah, because it's a different perspective, I think.
hmm
And it's
yeah, and it's
cute.
honestly it's nice to see the bottoms because a lot of people you see the profile of it or you might see the inside, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't see the bottom. So it's nice to see the whole
Yeah.
piece. And it just looks like there's like good attention to detail with all of the different aspects here.
Yeah, they look really cool. Very cool indeed.
Yeah, so that's Sarah German Ceramics on Instagram. And y'all can look those up.
So cool. She's just very good at photography as well, you
hmm
know?
Very satisfying seeing the white background photos with the just the pots sitting there or the
Yeah.
natural light coming through the window with greenware on the shelf. Looks like a nice studio.
Yeah. I love watching where you like see the transition from what they were doing to what they are doing,
hmm
you know?
Where it
Like
was previously like bright colored pots.
clay, and then you're like, "Oh, okay." That changed.
hmm It looks like
Yeah,
there was
cool.
hints of it as the feet of some of these other pots.
Well, it actually goes pretty far back, and she's been doing it for a long time, but you can tell that she hadn't like been doing all the colors as much, I feel like. And then and they weren't, they've gotten much better over time, which is obviously something that happens. So,
Ooh, the jewelry's kind of cool.
yeah. It's
And
like she made a lamp.
the lamps are sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like her templates are very useful for being able to actually make production of this work because you can swap out the
Yeah.
colors like crazy and just make them different
Yeah,
one to the next. But it seems like a good model to be able to produce a lot of work.
for sure. For shizzle. Okay, cool.
All right,
Sounds
those are
good.
our makers of the moment.
Wow, wow, wow. Good stuff.
All right, you know who else has like 30 colors or 25 colors?
Tula.
Sula. They have 30
Tula.
pockets. They have 25 colors
I
of
get
bags.
so many compliments on my bag at work. Like, because it's now my work bag.
Which one's your work bag? What color is it?
The Sarah Anderson collab.
Mm,
It looks like the mystery school bus, the mystery bus from Scooby-Doo.
mm.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. Uh, as somebody that has 5 Sula bags, um, with different things in each one, I can literally tell you that I love them with all my heart.
I hope one of those is Do you have one as like a shower caddy bag that you take when you go get a shower at somebody's place?
No, I would, but my shower caddy is a bigger bag that holds a basket that has holes in it so that the whole basket can go in the shower.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But good idea. If
I
we
was
could
just
get a
saying you
waterproof
could
one,
wash it if you wanted to wash it. They
you
are
could, you
washable.
could, you
But
could.
yeah, you wouldn't want to set that on the floor of the shower.
No.
Hang it up on the hook outside of it.
No, I think that I love what I love about Sula, and especially us talking about Sula is that like a lot of the times we are very focused on ceramics, and what I love about Sula is that it's not just for ceramics. It is, but it's not. Like you can use it
Mhm.
for so many things in your life. Like so many ceramic artists are fiber artists and knitting needles and crochet hooks are perfect for those side pockets.
Yeah.
And I've got all of my sewing stuff in a Sula bag. Like I've got all of my nail stuff in a Sula bag. I like literally it's it's so
You
versatile
just
for anything craft like.
yes. Yeah, I mean the pockets are specific to a lot of ceramic tools, like the carving tools and the trimming tools and things like that,
Yeah.
but needle tools. But like you're talking about knitting needles and scissors and all those different
Yeah.
things. Pen. If you're a drawer or something, you have a lot of pens or
Yeah.
markers or something. I could see you making use of the bag for that.
Yeah. And the inside is what did what did Isaac say? It's like a Mary Poppins bag. Did I say that? Well, it is.
You were
But
saying Mary Poppins, and he was trying to come up with the little
a jingle for it.
jingle for Mary Poppins
Yeah.
themed.
But yeah, it is kind of like a Mary Poppins bag. Like it's just like you pull something out and you're like, how the heck did that fit in there?
Hmm.
You know? It's great.
Yeah, I got to get a little. I recorded a little video for Instagram. I'll put it out soon. That is what's in my Sula bag that's soda related for the soda
Nice.
kiln. So I'll be putting that out soon. And there's more than I thought. I was like, oh, I just have a few little things, but it's like it fills the bag out. So
Yeah. No, it's like if you haven't had one, if you haven't had a Sula bag, you should get one. And if you already have one, you should get another one.
yeah, and you can save a
And
few
they,
bucks.
yeah, you could. They have merch too. And their bag ties and
Mm-hmm.
their needle tool covers,
Rubbers.
rubbers. Their bag ties are my favorite. You could just give me 500 of those and I'd be happy.
I need to put one of those. I need to put one of those in my money box for shows. There was a another ceramic artist across the way that was like, "Do you have a rubber band?" She wanted to get her hair out
Oh
of her face, and
yeah.
she was setting up her booth. And it would have been nice to have like the Sula loop thing and be like, "Here
Yeah.
you go, use this."
Yeah, because me and me and Erica have done that. Both of us have put our hair up with the Sula bag ties.
Hmm. And it's got a
Yeah.
little flare hanging off of it, so it's not just a
Yeah,
standard bag tie.
for sure.
All right, so if you want to get all of the different accessories, the bags, you can go to Sula.co, SOOLLA.co, and use code WheelTalk, and you'll save 15% on your order, which is, from what Andy told us, it's the best discount that's out there.
It's the mostest.
It's the mostest discount that's out there. So
Yeah.
you can find the link down in our description. You'll have to put the code in at checkout, but
Is there any caps or anything? Is it all lowercase?
he said he accounted for all the different cases. So if you do it
Okay.
capital W, all lowercase from there, or if you do capital W, capital T, or all
Or if you
caps, it
just
doesn't
do all
matter.
lowercase, that's fine too.
Yeah, it should be good.
So,
Yeah.
yay. And then tag us with your new Sulas.
Oh,
Tag
yes.
both of
Please do
us.
that.
Not both of us. I mean, like tag Wheel Talk and then tag Sula. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet. All
sweet,
right.
sweet, sweet.
Thanks, Sula. On to the topic of the day. Becca,
On to the topic.
you were the one that picked out this topic, actually.
I was, which is not normal. Um, Well, I kind of was thinking about, I saw it and I was kind of thinking about the whole, like what keeps you going through the day, like what's your purpose, not purpose, but what we were talking about earlier about philosophy and stuff. Um, because this is the topic. Uh, Ryan took it from what podcast?
The Design Discord podcast. It's a newer podcast that's more focused on
Like
they say
arts and
design, but
crafts,
it's like fine art design, like furniture design
furniture,
and
jewelry.
yeah, it's more fine art. Like they're like the shows they're talking about, I don't relate to. They're talking about spending tons of money and getting into like collectible shows and all these
Yeah.
like big
Kind of
city
shows that a
shows.
$10,000 table pays for the show.
Yeah. And when they're talking about being there, they're saying you shouldn't people don't go there to sell work. You're kind of there to market yourself, which seems completely counter to what we're used to. Like we're used to
Right, because
going
I'm
to a
sh
place to get ROI on the money you spent to be there. It's not like
right.
future potential sales. You're
For
like,
them,
no,
it's
I'm here
straight
to sell.
advertising. It's an
Right.
advertising budget situation, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because like I'm sure there's a ton of uh what are those people called? The house decorators?
Interior design.
Yeah, interior designers walking around, and those are the type of people that like they see a table and then that's their
Yeah, there's
client.
people that represent individuals. There's not individuals going in
Yeah,
there to buy a chair or a dining room
right, exactly.
table or something.
Right. So this came from that. So it says, how do you want to be known? Do you want to be known for your artwork, functional wares, jewelry, or producer of wholesale work, your business savvy, your teaching skills, your craftsmanship, your storytelling abilities, content creation, etc.? What are the
This was
pros?
more me. This was my
Oh
interpretation
yeah.
from some of what I heard on there. So,
Do you want to read that part?
yeah, so some of what prompted this was earlier in their one of their first couple episodes, I think, and one of the quotes that stood out, he was talking about there's a lot of folks that do fabrication and they're known to be fabricators where artists come to them and say, "Hey, I have something I want made," and they have the tools and the skill set to execute on the ideas that designers, artists have, and you become the person to execute on those, not necessarily coming with your own designs and producing your own work to be sold. And it's kind of a distinction between, you know, um, well, you're known as a good fabricator, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good artist or a good designer because it's kind of different things. It's kind of like it kind of feels artist versus craftsman sort of kind of a line, but that's some of what he was talking about. And one of the quotes he said was, because because they are a great maker, they think they're good designers, but
Right.
they confuse high craft for being good designers. So I think in our work, it's definitely craft. Like pottery for sure is very craft heavy. There can be
Yeah,
high art parts of it, but
yeah, and I mean, but also there's two facets for design too. There's a functional design versus a visual design. And
Mhm.
like I think that
And
a
they call
lot
it a
of
functional like collectible is kind of what they call it, where you're producing multiple pieces of the same thing over and over to be
no,
like quote unquote collected, like to put in your house. You're not doing it to get it as a piece of artwork that's going to be seen. You're actually
that's what they call it.
they call it collectible design,
Well, I was thinking functional as in the function of a design. Like
like a chair.
kind of, but like yeah, it's like product design. We f- what we don't I feel like a lot of potters don't really think about product design as their job, but that's all our job is to design a product,
Hmm.
to
Yes.
to design a product that people will drink out of. So when they're designing that product, they have to think about all the things that people are going to do when they pick up that cup. And I would say that there's a small majority, like a small percentage of people that actually think about it from point A to point Z. And like they don't think about, they're like, oh, well, I like this, so I'm going to do it like this. No, like for me, when I'm making a cup, I think because I essentially wanted to be a product designer, um, I think about how it's going to feel in your hand. I think about how it's going to feel on your lips. I think about how I'm not necessarily thinking about if it's going to break because of certain, like maybe it's too thin. I'm thinking about the experience that you have
Customer
as
experience. You want a positive
yeah.
customer experience. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
thinking of the
I'm
customer
thinking
first.
yeah, I'm thinking about the customer as opposed to like if it's going to break and or whatever. And I do feel like sometimes when, you know, we are, I mean, you could, I would love for you to jump in on this, but like potters don't necessarily think about the customer's experience a lot as much as they do about the process of making the ceramics.
Potters don't think about the customer experience enough compared to the process of making it.
Like for you, you love making it. Like you want
Hmm.
your end product to be good, but you're always going to be thinking about like making it. You're not
Right.
necessarily going to be thinking about like every single little bit about the design that a person's going to like hold your cup with, you know? Because
Yeah.
if you
I mean, I
did,
think
then you would,
there's a level of like standards like the handle or the
right.
lip or
But if you did, you would
the
trim your
bottom.
cups. Yeah.
What? I don't think
If
that
you,
affects the use of the customer to have a flat
oh,
bottom versus a
yeah.
trimmed bottom.
Oh, it sure does.
Okay.
Because it's the feeling. It's the feeling of it. Like it feels finished. It feels more like designed, you know? Like you might
Yes,
not
it
care.
does look better. Yes.
Yeah, but
But
it sometimes feels better too.
okay. I don't think the customer cares as much about that. I think that's more the person making it wants to set that standard for themselves of what they want to put out, and that's how they want it to look.
I disagree. Because
You
if
think
you
people
made,
trim the foot on it because they want the customer wants a trimmed foot?
no, 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 no. You said you don't think the customer cares.
I
But
think the potter putting it on there cares about it themselves more than they're doing it for
right,
the customer.
that's what I was saying. They're not as designed like they're not designing this cup for a customer. They're designing the cup for their satisfaction and their uh and their like I don't know what the word. What's the word?
I mean, I want to say
Their
standard, but
not standard, but like their ease. Like their it's easier to not trim it, right? It's like faster. It's faster. It's
yeah. Oh
more
yeah, it's
efficient.
more efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So if a potter was designing it for a customer and like for only thinking about the person drinking out of their cup, it would take so long and that
Hmm.
piece would cost so much
Right.
because
Right. I don't care
there's
about that at the end of the day. I don't care about that as
right,
much. The middle ground that I'm willing to do is sand the bottom so that it's better than
exactly.
not sanded.
And so that's why we're not designers.
Right.
Well, I
And
mean
I'm
he's
trying to get
thinking
my cups in the most hands possible and a
right,
price point and a certain level of quality is what
right.
I care about more to get it in the most hands possible.
Yeah. So it's like somebody who is a designer in the ceramic world, Kate Schrader.
Hmm.
She's thinking about, she's not even making cups essentially. She's making little sculptures, you know?
Right.
Like she's making earrings that literally work as lamps.
Hmm.
Like, you know,
And that's not even clay.
right. Somebody else that's like a designer who thinks about every single thing, Old Forest Ceramics. Like, there's certain people that think about the experience as opposed to the journey to the end.
Hmm.
But that's not actually what we're talking about at all.
But I mean, it sort of is a little bit of like,
Like, it is kind of a little bit.
I mean, it was how do you want to be known? Some of that has to
But
do with what work you put out in the world and what
well,
people come to
I
expect
think
from you.
well, the first question I have is how do you want to be known currently or in the future? Like how do you interpret this? In the future or currently?
I was interpreting it as down the road. It's kind of a legacy question,
That's what I was thinking.
sort of a after your career is over
Mm-hmm.
and people hear your name. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very egotistical to think that people are really going to care about us at the end, like when we're that, like most people don't really care about us
No, but
at that
but at the
level.
same time,
But
I think it's good to talk about this and like be real about what we want, you know?
mhm,
Because I know a ton of people are probably thinking about this all the time. Like, how are people going to view me when I'm dead or whatever? Like, or when I retire, or when I don't make pots anymore. So it's
mhm.
good to have like
I
an
think it's
honest conversation.
yeah, I think it's more your peers. What are your peers or what are your customers or those that have interacted with you? What do you want them to remember of you?
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think it necessarily has to be what you were like as a person necessarily, because we're producing art or work to go out into the world, and that's what we do. But
But that's an individual choice too.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I care more about being known as a good person to the people I interact with more so than, oh, he produced amazing work, but he was an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I would much rather prefer the former.
Okay, so in context of your work, how would you like to be known? Let I'll make it more direct. In the context of your work in the future when you're not doing pottery anymore, how would you like to be known?
I would more so like to be known as someone who is willing to share with others to help them become better, whether it's in
Mm,
business or in challenging yourself to do better work. That's what I want to be known more for than my individual pots or my business success or whatever. That's what I cared more about.
it's interesting. That's good. I mean, that's why I like you as a human being, but you know, I'm
Like,
biased.
oh, he shared. He
Yeah,
was always willing to share. I think,
yeah, he was very generous in his knowledge.
yes,
Yeah,
that's what I care
yeah,
most about, I think.
yeah,
The
that's
pots are
good.
just a way to keep doing that. And it's like the
To keep
thread
sharing.
throughout. It's the thing I enjoy doing and I can make money at it. And then I'm kind of proving out how to make a business of it and how to iterate on designs to like make it a little bit better and like try something like the soda. Like, can I make a business out of just selling soda fired pots? Okay, here's how
Right.
you might be able to do it, or here how I did it.
Stay tuned for Ryan's 12-step program.
No, I don't want to be selling stuff, but um, yeah, I definitely don't want to be kind of like, oh, he's selling knowledge for the sake of being like one of those guys that, you know,
Yeah,
I still want the making to be a big part of it so that I'm actually doing the thing rather than talking about the thing.
yeah. Okay, so just for shits and giggles, um, how do you want to be known just for pots? Like not for teaching or anything, like how would you like what part of your pottery would you love to like be the highlight?
Probably hearing from customers to say that's my favorite mug.
So the mugs.
Yeah, that's my favorite mug. I have it. I use it all the time. That's my favorite mug.
Yeah, nice.
I love hearing that from customers at shows. Like
Oh,
people
it's so
come back and
nice.
they say, "Oh my gosh, I got one of your things last year. I love it so much. I use it every day or all the time." Like I
Yeah.
love that because
How could you not love that?
we have so many pots in my life with the collections. Not everybody has that. Like if you can have a
Right.
handmade mug and you're a focal piece from somebody's collection, even if
Yeah.
it's a small collection, it's pretty nice to be like, "Oh, well, they grab my mug."
Yeah,
And it's nice.
for
What
sure.
about you? How would you answer?
Well, I think that this is kind of why I chose this question because I don't know the answer. Mostly because like uh I don't really I don't know if it's like just who I am, but I have no need for a legacy. And I
Doesn't mean you're a bad person if you want people to remember you.
I never said it did.
Are you like you're like, "Oh, I don't want people to remember me," or "I don't care if people remember me."
I don't care. But so and like a couple years ago I stopped signing my pieces and somebody asked me why and I was like, I don't care. And I think that it's I mean, obviously we have like selfish parts about ourselves, right? Like as far as the pottery is concerned, like if I was to answer the pottery part, like what would I want somebody to remember my pots by? I would probably Is probably like the fancy pots, how somebody told me that it was their autistic cup and they just pick it up and feel it,
Mm,
you know? That's probably how I'd like that textural aspect
hmm.
is really the part that I'm maybe the most proud of,
The
you
little
know? Yeah,
fidgets.
he's got the fidget. Maybe the most proud of, but I don't know if it necessarily represents me, you know? Um, so
It's
yeah.
hard to answer that too because there's more pots in our future.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I
like
mean,
I
we can just
can't so
say
that's why
as
I say like the mug because I don't know what my best pots are gonna be. Like I
I
feel
know,
like I'm
but
gonna continue to get better and better. So,
well, we
you
can
know,
say as of today, you
right.
know.
Hmm.
Um, but as far as like what my legacy, I do think that you had a very good answer and like giving, you know, giving people. But I think that also I liked the on the question it was like your storytelling abilities, like I think that that I think that that's probably what I want to be remembered for is like my ability to like be vulnerable and to like relinquish my power essentially. I Somebody recently told me that you gain like what did it say? Um it was like you gain power. Oh, one of the rules of power. Good speak less and never overshare. And I speak more and I always overshare. And I feel like that's what I want to be known for. Speaking more and all like I want to not have that power, you know?
Mm,
Like want I don't have any aspirations to be powerful over somebody. I would much rather put myself at the bottom and help somebody, you know, by sharing something that must have been hard, you
hmm.
know, than than keeping it all in and being like nobody needs to know that.
Hmm.
And yeah, because we all
Yeah,
go through shit, you know.
yeah, I feel like growing up, I don't remember being having a lot of like conversation that was talking about like digging into like what's going wrong now,
Right.
like what's going on,
Yeah.
like what's wrong, rather than like
Yeah,
looking at the
like
positives and like Like there's positive ahead, and that's probably influenced a lot of why I look at the positives a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like there's gonna be wrong, but we don't have to talk about it. Like we can just keep going. Like there's
Right.
plenty there's way more positive than negative. So I don't know that it's explicit that it was like don't focus on the negative, but it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, like don't bring up the negative around. I feel like in some situations you don't want to bring up the negative to like kill the vibe. Like,
Oh yeah,
oh, I
for
don't want to
sure.
bring that up at the dinner table, but even though it would be like good conversation to have because you're being vulnerable and you're having a more deep conversation
Yeah.
with whoever, whether it's the parent, your parents, or your siblings or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's not a pretty standard thing to be done in the presence of that audience, then it's like, why are you talking about that? Why are you bringing this up? Like you're just killing the vibe.
Right. Right. And I mean, like, yeah, I think that that's like I never want to be um like somebody's sympathy. I don't want people to feel sorry for me, but I also don't want to skirt around issues that need to be talked about, you know? And
Hmm. Do you find that people ask you because they know that you're pretty vulnerable, like outwardly with whether it's
uh-huh.
social media or on here or whatever? Do you feel like people ask you more ongoing, how are you? How's it going?
Yeah, probably.
I see you've
Yeah.
had stuff going on, like how are you doing?
Yeah.
Is that does that reinforce that like, oh, people want to know how I'm doing and they care about me? Or is it just an annoyance that,
I
oh,
don't
like
think it's
they're
either.
bothering me?
No, I don't think it's either. I think it's more the I mean, I know people care, but I think it's more just like there's some people that care more than other people, and and those people are always going to reach out if they have the chance because they care. And and that's great, you know?
Hmm.
And like there's nothing annoying about that ever. We need more people that are less selfish, you know? And so I think that's great. But that's my answer to the question, which doesn't really have anything to do with pottery, but yeah, but like I think that's
But that's
yeah,
similar to, yeah.
I mean like they kind of left it broad. So I felt like that was good. But I really like yours. And I feel like you're achieving that, you know? And I also think that it's interesting how like well, it's not really interesting, but it's semi-interesting how both of us chose something that was much broader than just ceramics, you know? And I
Yeah.
think uh when we are thinking about things like this, like how do you want to be known? I would I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there are some people that all they want to be known is for their ceramics. That's it. You know? Like they want to be, you know, people they want people to see their stuff.
Hmm.
And that's their goal in life. And I think that if your goal in life is only that, like I don't know, I just don't feel like you can hit that. But if
If
your goal,
yeah, you're never going to be satisfied with how many people know about you for that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's no ceiling to that
yeah,
or like specific um like measure of success for that.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's also like like it is a small business, so you have ownership of it. It's yours, it's you, your work, it's vulnerable because you made the thing.
yeah,
But it's also a job. Like it's a way for you to live your life so that you can pay your bills, or maybe you're doing it on the side and you're doing it for enjoyment and artistic, creativity pursuits and all of that. But like,
I just think that it's kind of interesting that like when you set your goals to be something outside of the scope of your job, like your job becomes easier because that's just a subsection of the
Yeah,
total
it's not
goal.
who you are. It's just a part of
Yeah,
what you do. It's not like you're not defined by
exactly.
the job that you have.
And I think about that also in parallel to like Instagram and like, typically you can tell when somebody is only interested in the views or the likes or the whatever. And then you can tell when somebody's actually interested in a community, you know? And from what I can tell, most of the time that community aspect gets more recognition than the latter, you know? And it's a it's a good reminder that we're still like human beings, you know,
Hmm.
and not just potter. Like we don't just do pottery.
Hmm.
Like we have so many
Oh
more
yeah, I mean,
aspects.
definitely, and the connections are way better when you can actually see somebody in person than talk
Yeah.
with them digitally. Like the random people that'll see me at a show and say, "Oh my gosh, I follow your podcast. I listen to your podcast. I listen to you every
Yeah.
week." Or, "Oh, I'm a customer, but like I really appreciate you sharing your numbers from shows. Like I think that's really
Yeah.
cool." Or other makers that say that. Like there was somebody next to me and she was like, "Yeah, I really like that you share that stuff. I think it's good." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Thanks. I hope it's helpful for people."
Right. And like that stuff goes a long ways, you know? And like, yeah. I think that the reason that we're even here 6 years later, we never actually said anything about the fact that our anniversary was August 22nd.
Pew, 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 pew.
Bow, 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 bow. But we've been doing this 6 years, and the reason that we've been successful was not because we just wanted views, we just wanted followers. It was because we have pretty true intentions on helping, you know,
Hmm.
and sharing certain things that some people don't have access to and creating a community. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah, or finding folks that have more knowledge on certain topics that we can get interviews with and chat with them and
yeah,
hopefully make it interesting, whether it's, questions that I'm selfishly more interested in and want to learn about from them, or there's a more specific question that, I don't necessarily care to implement myself, but others have
yeah.
questions about and want to know more about from whoever we're chatting with.
Thoughts? We
Oh, I
have
was
10
gonna,
minutes.
um, there was something I was gonna say, but I'm trying to remember looking back at the thing here. Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think back to, we, like, do you feel like you would, how would this differ for, obviously we're two people that don't have, I have a spouse, but, don't have kids, don't have other dependents. Like this answer, it would be way different or it could be different for people that have other dependents in their lives
Mm.
or kids, and
Like, how do you
they're
want to be remembered?
they're trying to,
Like,
yeah, they're trying to straddle the family with the, raising humans or caring
right.
for family and all of that. Um, I feel like
Well,
I'm relatively standalone with Rachel. Like we don't have to care for family, or we have
right.
siblings and they have kids and we are engaged there, but there's nobody necessarily depending on us besides Rachel and I.
Well, it makes you wonder if like I know that like a spouse or a child is obviously a very high priority, but it makes you wonder that if your whole priority is your child, if you're going to be the best you can be rather than like if you were to like be like, "Oh, I want to be known as a great father." Like, would it be better if you wanted to be known as a like giving human being or whatever, whatever, and
Hmm.
have the great father be like a subset section of that, like not your highest priority, because then
Hmm.
it would probably just fall into place.
Yeah, I think if we're good, if you're good with your own, uh, if you're in a good state for yourself, you're probably more useful for those around you and more
For sure.
helpful.
Yeah.
Kind of like put your own mask on before others in the plane situation.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of your own needs, before you're actually able to give to
Yep.
others and help others.
I had to remind somebody of that today, who is a very good father.
Hmm.
You know, but yeah, it's like, but also like if you're a dad or if you're a mom or a dad and you're an artist, what does this answer look like? You know, do you like split that up? Is it split? Like if you had a regular job, would you even say anything about that job?
Hmm. I think there's way more ownership with having your own
Right.
work, your own artwork, your own business.
Yeah.
That it begins and ends with you, and it's up to you if you want to keep it going or not keep it going, or if you want to work for somebody else. Like it's
Right.
all on you. I mean, you can share it with others like your spouse, or if you have a business partner or whatever, you can kind of lighten that load and spread out the work, but the options are out there for you to decide what you want to do with it. And
Yeah.
it's definitely not easy. So probably gonna you're probably gonna spend way more time and money than you would working for somebody else.
Yeah, and sometimes when you work for yourself, you forget about the people around you. You know, you focus so much on that job because it's what you eat and breathe that you neglect other things in your life that may need to happen, you know? And like find and we I mean, we've talked about this, like finding a balance
Hmm.
and trying to like so like if you want to be known for like let's say you have a family and the whole nine yards, like not, an atypical 1950s family, two and a half kids. And you own a business doing, I don't know, I was going to choose something not ceramics, but you own a business doing jewelry, metalsmithing, and you're the dad. And you focus everything in your life on your jewelry. People will know you for that, but your kids won't. Like, well, they'll actually know you for that too, but they won't know you as their dad, you know?
Hmm.
And like,
Sounds a
yeah.
little lessons from Keith Brammer Jones book club.
Oh yeah. Hell
He was
yeah.
kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're focused so much on the business because you have to make it work that you don't have the time to focus elsewhere because you're just trying to tread water.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're so like I'm so invested in this that I'm like I'm gonna keep going. Like, where do I draw the line? Which shows do I not do?
Right.
Which opportunities do I not take? Because if the opportunity's there and I'm like, I'd like to do that, what would make me say I shouldn't do that, or I can't do that, or it's not the right time? Because there's no guarantee that opportunity is going to be there in a year when you are like quote unquote ready.
Right.
So how do you
Oh my
decide like
God.
where that line is?
Right. I found this Instagram post today or yesterday, and I think Taylor retweeted it, so I'm gonna find it or re-whatevered it. Um,
Reposted or that
re
you're talking about that thing they have now?
no, a story. It was a story. Did I miss it? Did it go away? It was like you're never ready, right?
Hmm. It sounds like when people say, "Are you ready to have kids?" Like you're never going to be ready to have kids, or you're never going to be ready to quit your
Yeah, but
job,
it
or
had like extras on it and it was so good. I'll find it.
mm,
Do you have any last words? We have 3 minutes. I found it. It says being ready is a myth. You start, you suck, you figure it out, you get better.
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a Slipcast update.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
We have mixed our first batch of casting slip
Oh,
based on a recipe that some other, I think it was a university was using, a cone 5, cone 6. I think it's porcelain. So I got all the raw materials. We mixed it up. We followed the instructions, got the body good, slip cast them on earlier this week. Got them out of the mold
mm-hmm.
very like quickly, reasonably. Ashley did a great job. And we're gonna get them into a bisque kiln, see how they get all the way through the process, see how the shrinkage is. I think it's gonna be more because they're porcelain,
Yeah.
and then we'll see how the glazes fit on them. But we're making progress, and that's a
Looks,
positive. It feels like a little side quest, but I know that if I don't have some momentum going to that little by little, then it's not gonna happen. So
yep.
definitely grateful to have Ashley helping out with that, and I see, I can see the trajectory of how it's going to go, given that some things are going to happen in the mix, but uh, I have ideas and slowly working toward proving what works and then repeating and making more molds
Nice.
and seeing how that goes. So making progress.
I also have an announcement.
What's that?
My coworker gave me this bag and
Ooh, that's cool.
it's
Is
it's
that hand
tie-dye.
dyed tie dyed?
I don't think so. I think it was made in China. But it fits my laptop perfectly, so now I don't have to walk into the library holding my laptop and all my things. So
Oh. Yeah, the Sula's quite not the right dimensions for a laptop. I guess unless it's an Air, maybe a MacBook Air or something, you can
I think
maybe
mine
fit.
would fit, but I
And
just
you
need
want to be able
something
to hold the
skinny.
handle. Yeah.
All I have to bring in is my laptop, the cords, and my headphones. That's it. So
Water bottle and your phone. But yeah.
this is not a necessity. This is
Oh,
a if I
okay.
remember.
Okay. That looks like a new one. Is that a new water bottle?
Yeah,
Is that the same brand, the Owala?
yeah.
It looks bigger.
Did I ever tell you that it's because you look like a koala when you drink out of it?
Oh. Wait, is that actually why it's called that?
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. So anyway, it is
Yeah.
7:30.
That's our last words.
Oh,
I can't hear it over the intercom. It's
God
blocking it
damn
out.
it.
But yeah, so Becca mentioned we got this topic from the Design Discord podcast. If you want to listen to that, you can. It's
I'm sh
interesting. It's a different window into some other world that I'm not familiar with. So it's interesting to listen to. Fernando and Alyssa, I want to say. Um, I'll link down to it in the description if you want to listen. They had a thing go viral about not being able to sell mug for $45 and make a business of it. That was kind of the first foray into that podcast, and a lot of
and then
ceramicists were very upset. But
they met the wrath of ceramics.
they ended up deleting it after the fact. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see what other worlds are like and get a glimpse into it and see what they got to go through as artists and
And
all
I'm
of
sure they
that.
have a much different perspective than we did because I'm in the philosophy world right now.
Well,
So,
they didn't
and
actually ask that question. I think he was more talking about fabricators and designers and people like think they're known as a good designer, but they're really just a good fabricator or,
oh
and
yeah.
they weren't, it wasn't a topic that they were answering this question. It was just kind of came up naturally in conversation on an
Yeah.
episode. But
that
yeah,
is
they had
interesting.
some good ones recently about art school and like what
Oh shit.
skills and what they're leaving students with to graduate with, and if they're ready for the workforce and getting a job and all that. Like they got some good stuff.
I certainly didn't feel like I was ready for it.
So that was pretty interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Wheel Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.